that supply at the moment. So we're onboarding pharmacies, in batches, because we just don't have enough supply for every single pharmacy just yet. But we're hoping that we will.
Well, we all hope that you will. In my opener, I mentioned the fact that President Biden mentioned yesterday to media, and it got all over the place, so we played, saying he's been talking to other countries because the United States is nearing the end of vaccinating everybody who wants one, and they still have plenty of manufacturing capacity. They're pumping the stuff out, and that he's prepared to help other countries, and that he'd spoken to Trudeau yesterday for half an hour, and it looks like we're going to get a boost from President Biden. And I threw some numbers around, and I said something like, if he could ship us 1 million doses, we couldn't put him in people's arms. If he could ship us 500,000 doses a day, maybe we could. I think we could. And it sounds to me like, from what you say, if we had that kind of quantity coming in and the pharmacies really mobilized, because suddenly there were lineups and there was vaccine, and it wasn't just a particular kind of vaccine, it was all kinds of vaccines. And we were in the situation that, say, the United States has been, that you people could only up.
Absolutely, 100%, Peter. So again, 1 million vaccines a week in pharmacies alone, and that's not even speaking about family physicians. That's not speaking about mass clinics. That's just the pharmacy sector. So we can certainly support that, and we're looking forward to it. And we're ramping up and onboarding pharmacies every week until we can get all the interested pharmacies ready.
The firefighter got
ready to go as soon as we have the supply. Right now, we've got about 1,400 pharmacies across Ontario that are enrolled in the program. About 1,000 of those are vaccines. So
lease from $579 monthly for 27 months at 1.49% with $29.95 down. 16,000 kilometers a year, 3 of your payments on us. Conditions and limitations apply. Your first policy
and we've been really pushing.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price won't change at midnight, staying at $1.27.9 a liter. 680 News time, 1:40.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Et au détriment de l'autre.
Bon, alors le cerveau droit, qu'est-ce qu'il y aurait?
Créativité,
oui, c'est ça.
Émotion,
sensibilité.
Alors, intégrer ça dans notre cœur ou dans notre vie, y donner vie, y donner saveur.
All right. So, Dick Beavle's here. Doing his same thing again. I'll defend myself this time. Really? You hit me last time, and you're going to defend yourself against me asking, what makes you think it's okay to hit me? We'll get to that. Well, the police answer the phone 24/7. Fire services is supposedly Monday to Friday. So these people keep forcing my hand. Now my name and stuff on my door is graffiti because they say so. So these people are always playing two ways to the middle. It makes references to, the city of Toronto bylaw says this, so we're going to paint it over and charge you money so you don't get fined, because it's a $5,000 fine and 3 years in jail for having my name on my own door, because we don't know landlord-tenant law. So for you to put mixed paint that you hand mixed, just random fucking crap paint mixed with all sorts of shit, and then paint my door where my fresh air comes in, you're dumping volatile organic compounds into my house with the ventilation system turned off. So they watch every single one of these videos. Every time I point out that I know what they're doing, they change it up. Yeah, you're spraying aerosols through the hole in the fucking wall here and under my door. Oh, so you're going to paint it so it fucking stinks for 12 months, right? I can't breathe for 12 months, right? Stupid nigger, we're on your neck. Stop trying to get up. They just gave me the runaround in the office for 10 minutes pretending they don't speak. I will pass your message on. You didn't write anything down. So they keep pretending to be minorities. They're not. It's that simple. They're not as much of a minority as I happen to be, so I'm getting really tired of this. So let's see what the city of Toronto says. 3389050, according to the 311 people.
Thank you for calling the City of Toronto Fire Service. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Our office hours are from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday, excluding statutory holidays. Please listen carefully for the following options. To put your alarm system on test or bypass, press 1. To request a fire incident report, press 2. For fire safety concerns or inspections, press 3.
Really?
False alarm invoices, press 4. To notify Toronto Fire Services of an elevator that is currently out of service, press 5.
Really?
All other matters, press 0.
I didn't know either of those things.
Toronto Fire Services?
Hello, my name's Richard. I've been making complaints to 311 about some issues with my building. It's a high-rise building, and they're telling me to call you directly and speak to somebody.
Yes. So what I'll do is I'll connect you with our fire prevention division because they handle any fire code violation type of complaint.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I just need to know what area of the city is the building is, the high-rise.
It's Lansdowne and DuPont. It's in the West End, but I'm not precisely sure which division they would call it.
Okay, so you know what? If I can get the address, then I'll look it up according to our ward area, and then I'll know where to transfer you.
It's 1011 Lansdowne, 1011 Lansdowne.
1011 Lansdowne. Okay, so it's actually our south office, so I will transfer.
South? Okay, thank you.
Okay, just a moment. You're welcome.
South. Doesn't seem like the South, but that's.
Hello, you have reached the voicemail for Toronto
Hello?
Fire Services Fire Prevention Office, South Command, located at 77 Elizabeth Street. Our hours
Really?
of operation are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If this is an emergency, hang up and dial 911. To leave a message now, press 1. To reach other fire prevention commands, call or press the following numbers. For the North Command, call 416-338-9150 or press 3. Contact the West Command, please call 416-338-9450 or press 4. And to reach the East Command, please call 416-338-9250 or press 7.
Wait a second.
Hear this recording again, please press 8.
Wait a second. Just transfer me to South. Hold on. Try this again.
Hello, you have reached the voicemail for Toronto Fire Services Fire Prevention Office, South Command, located at 77
South.
Elizabeth Street. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If this is an emergency, hang up and dial 911. To leave a message now, press 1. To reach other fire prevention commands.
Okay.
Hello, you have called the Fire Prevention Office South Command. We're unavailable to take your call right now. Please leave us your number and a short message, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, my name is Richard Vanden Kerkhoff. My phone number is 647-729-9997. I live in a high-rise building. The address is 1011 Lansdowne Avenue. We've been calling 311 to report issues about this building, and they're telling us to call you directly. So I guess the long story short, I'll just give you a couple examples. They keep turning off the rooftop ventilators, and they're being manually turned off. There should be one over the north and south stairwells and one for the elevators and so forth. They keep turning them down, or the ones in the stairwells are turned off. And there's issues with this building. For example, the garbage chute runs directly into the parking garage. So with all these fans turned off, we can smell car exhaust up on the upper levels and so forth. There's a number of issues. We've been calling 311. There should be some type of record there, but they're telling us to call you direct. And I'm not sure what else to say in the message, so please help us out. By the way, there's been a number of fire calls here where it's repeated over and over in the stairwells, like 3 calls in one night, for example. I know what's happening is when the firefighters come in, they're wearing their SCBAs. They can't tell that the air isn't moving. They can't tell the air quality, but it's quite hypoxic even without a fire. Fire doors, like people are like reflexively propping open fire doors and windows and things to try to get air in here is it's not good. We really need your help. Thank you.
To send this message, press pound or hang up. To mark it urgent, 1. To play it, 3.
Hello, my name is Richard Van Den Kerkhoff. My phone number is 647-729-9997. I live in a high-rise building. The address is 1011 Lansdowne Avenue. We've been calling 311 to report issues about this building, and they're telling us to call you directly. So I guess the long story short, I'll just give you a couple examples. They keep turning off the rooftop ventilators, and they're being manually turned off. There should be one over the north and south stairwells and one for the elevators and so forth. They keep turning them down, or the ones in the stairwells are turned off. And there's issues with this building. For example, the garbage chute runs directly into the parking garage. So with all these fans turned off, we can smell car exhaust up on the upper levels and so forth. There's a number of issues. We've been calling 311. There should be some type of record there, but they're telling us to call you direct. And I'm not sure what else to say in the message. So please help us out. By the way, there's been a number of fire calls here where it's repeated over and over in the stairwells, like 3 calls in one night, for example. I know what's happening is when the firefighters come in, they're wearing their SCBAs. They can't tell that the air isn't moving. They can't tell the air quality, but it's quite hypoxic even without a fire. Fire doors, like people are like reflexively propping open fire doors and windows and things to try to get air in here. It's not good. We really need your help. Thank you.
To send this message, press pound or hang up. To mark it urgent, 1. To play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. To add to it, 5. Record your message at the tone, then press pound.
Oh, there's also, for example, there's a generator, a large backup generator located about 10 feet from the fire exit of the south stairwell. And again, if everything's running correctly, it wouldn't matter. The situation we come with, it's like cascading failures. If that generator comes on, it no longer powers the building. I don't know what's wrong with that, but the ventilators, the lights, everything are off, but that generator's running right next to the fire exit, for example. That's another example. There's a bunch of them. Thank you.
To send this message, press pound or hang up. To mark it urgent.
Hello, my name is Richard Van Den Kerkhoff. My phone number is 647-729-9997. I live in a high-rise building. The address is 1011 Lansdowne Avenue. We've been calling 311 to report issues about this building, and they're telling us to call you directly. So I guess the long story short, I'll just give you a couple examples. They keep turning off the rooftop ventilators, and they're being manually turned off. There should be one over the north and south stairwells and one for the elevators and so forth. They keep turning them down, or the ones in the stairwells are turned off. And there's issues with this building. For example, the garbage chute runs directly into the parking garage. So with all these fans turned off, we can smell car exhaust up on the upper levels and so forth. There's a number of issues. We've been calling 311. There should be some type of record there, but they're telling us to call you direct. And I'm not sure what else to say in the message. So please help us out. By the way, there's been a number of fire calls here where it's repeated over and over in the stairwells, like 3 calls in one night, for example. I know what's happening is when the firefighters come in, they're wearing their SCBAs. They can't tell that the air isn't moving. They can't tell the air quality, but it's quite hypoxic even without a fire. Fire doors, like people are like reflexively propping open fire doors and windows and things to try to get air in here. It's not good. We really need your help. Thank you. Oh, there's also, for example, there's a generator, a large backup generator located about 10 feet from the fire exit of the south stairwell. And again, if everything's running correctly, it wouldn't matter. The situation we come with, it's like cascading failures. If that generator comes on, it no longer powers the building. I don't know what's wrong with that, but the ventilators, the lights, everything are off, but that generator's running right next to the fire exit, for example. That's another example. There's a bunch of them. Thank you.
To send this message, press pound or hang up. To mark it urgent, 1. To play it, 3. To re-record it, 4. Your message has been sent. Goodbye.
Oh, who else do I have to call? Some about these keys here. They're emailing me. And buddy threatening. What am I supposed to do with that? Tell them, yeah, the guy who says I threatened him threatened me. Like, where's that going? Oh, I gotta call the city hall. Let's try that. I need the courthouse number. Shit. I don't have it here. That's interesting. Like all these other phone numbers. Oh, damn, Ministry of Labor, Toronto Fire. Oh, police is the last priority. What the fuck are they gonna do? What happened there? I guess I gotta wait for that. Yeah, I don't think we're getting an update from the province today. I have no fucking idea.
One of 3 incredible bonus offers on some of your favorite models. Choose the 2021 Versa that has amazing fuel economy ratings from $199 monthly, or choose the 2021 Sentra with standard Apple CarPlay from $231 monthly. For full details on offers, visit Nissan.ca. Sentra at 3.5% for 64 months. Versa at 3.42% for 64 months with $995 down. Offers include $750 MyTrans bonus cash. Conditions apply.
Your world is always changing.
680 News is here for you.
Sign up to the new 680 News. Be the first to know newsletter. Brought to you by Diamond and Diamond Lawyers.
The current top 5 stories, the latest weather forecast, delivered to your inbox twice daily.
Subscribe now and always be the first to know.
680news.com/newsletters.
Well, a former Olympic athlete and reality TV star wants to be the next governor of California.
With a tweet reading, "I'm in," Caitlyn Jenner, who is a longtime Republican, is now running.
It's not that. The book.
Hello, you have reached Hines and Associates at 133 Richmond Street West, Unit 401. To leave a message right away, simply press 0. To reach Chris Hines, barrister and solicitor, please press 1. For Jesse DeCecca, barrister and solicitor, press 2. For Rosalie Thompson, you reached Jesse DeCecca, barrister and solicitor at Hines and Associates, 133 Richmond Street West, Suite 401, Toronto, Ontario, M5H2L3, telephone and fax 416-410-0211, toll free at 1-888-230-5792. Email is jdechecka@hineslaw.ca and JDICECA@HYNESLAW.ca. Please leave a voicemail and I will call you back.
Please hold while I try to connect you.
He's ringing his phone.
You've reached Jesse DeCecca, barrister and solicitor at 133 Richmond Street West, Suite 401, Toronto, Ontario, M5H2L3, telephone and fax 416-410-0211. Please note I am on leave from February 19 to 26, 2020. I'll answer messages when I get back from 27. For immediate assistance, please contact Chris Hines, Rosalie Thompson, Angela Veneziano, or Administrative Assistant Emily Andrzejczyk.
Hello, Jesse. It's Richard Van Den Kerkhoff, 647-729-9997. I've been basically trying to abide by my conditions and so forth. I'm about to call the city courthouse to find out when my next court date is, although I don't know how important that is. These charges I'm on, the people that are accusing me of things, there's already reports from me to the police that they assault me. The police attend and say, well, we're not charging them. They go away. They come back 6 months later and then charge me with these same supposed incidents. So today, Friday, April 23rd, I'm being threatened some more by these people. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do about that. This is going on and on in a circle. It's hate crimes. It's race based. I'm literally being attacked for my race. They're saying genocidal things at me, and then accusing me of doing things to them, like as they walk by, they're screaming at me to back off, and they'll defend themselves this time. And I've never done anything to these people. I didn't say anything to them. So I could use some sort of feedback as to what's happening with this court cases, sir. Have a nice day.
To listen to your message, press 1.
Hello, Jesse. It's Richard Vanden Kerkhoff, 647-729-9997. I've been basically trying to abide by my conditions and so forth. I'm about to call the city courthouse to find out when my next court date is, although I don't know how important that is. These charges I'm on, the people that are accusing me of things, there's already reports from me to the police that they assault me. The police attend and say, well, we're not charging them. They go away. They come back 6 months later and then charge me with these same supposed incidents. So today, Friday, April 23rd, I'm being threatened some more by these people. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do about that. This is going on and on in a circle. It's hate crimes. It's race based. I'm literally being attacked for my race. They're saying genocidal things at me, and then accusing me of doing things to them. Like as they walk by, they're screaming at me to back off, and they'll defend themselves this time. And I've never done anything to these people. I didn't say anything to them. So I could use some sort of feedback as to what's happening with this court cases. Have a nice day.
To listen to your message, press 1. To erase and re-record, press 2. To send, press 3. To send this message as urgent, press 4. Please enter your selection now.
I'm going to keep recording.
To listen to your message, press 1. To erase and re-record, press 2. To send, press 3. To send this message as urgent, press 4. Please enter the selection. Urgent message sent. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
The Prime Minister has now received his first dose of a COVID vaccine as the Fed secure millions of booster shots for the next 2 years. And officials say restrictions could start being lifted by midsummer.
It was 3 years ago today. 10 people died and more than a dozen others hurt in the Toronto van attack. And we'll tell you why warehouse space in Canada is at a premium.
The Blue Jays are in St. Pete to begin a 3-game series with the Tampa Bay Rays. And it sounds like Chris Boucher has dodged a bullet. Sports at 15.
We've got arrows pointing up on markets to close out what has likely been a losing week, and then shares in Intel looking at the biggest one-day drop in months. Business at 26. 680 News time, 2:01. That is time for 680 News. Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carrie Prenskus. This report is brought to you by Leon's Furniture. Northbound on the 400, north of Highway 88, the right lane is now blocked by emergency crews. We have reports of a rollover in the ditch, and it is jammed now on the northbound 400 from 5th line to north of Highway 88. That problem is just under a kilometer north of 88, so not too far past that area. Northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, good news. That problem at Gerard has cleared away, so delays through that stretch have improved. It's busy towards the top end of the northbound Don Valley Parkway as you approach Eglinton to north of Lawrence. We have a collision on the eastbound QEW approaching Dorval. The left lane is blocked, so a heavy backup from 3rd line, and then still going again eastbound QEW from Trafalgar to Ford Drive. Eastbound on the 401, it's busy through Mississauga Road. Slows again from the 427 to the 400 Express and Collectors. Then watch out for a stalled vehicle east of the DVP in the Express. It's blocking the right lane. Traffic is still moving well there, though. Westbound on the 401, expect delays from west of here, Ontario, in the Express, and from Mavis and the Collectors to approaching Mississauga Road. And we have a heavy backup in Mississauga, westbound on Derry. It's jammed from Torbram to Bramalea because of construction. It's the final days to save the tax on all furniture, mattresses, and select appliance packages at Leon's. And Sunday, shop online at leons.ca today. And now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor.
It's back to milder air. Above average temperatures will climb to a guaranteed high 17 degrees today. Plenty of sunshine. Tonight, partly cloudy, still windy, and 6 for the low. For today, the guaranteed high 17.
Right now in downtown Toronto, it's sunny and 13 degrees. 680 News Time, 2:03. Ontario is reporting another 4,000 plus day of new COVID-19 cases, with almost 2,500 of them in just 2 areas. This is a group of doctors called for more action to stop the spread. 680's Moment Qureshi is following this and joins us live with the latest. Moment.
Sarah, the province reporting 4,505 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 with 34 deaths related to the virus. Now, as you mentioned, there are 2 particular numbers that stand out: 1,257 cases in Toronto and 1,232 in Peel. That is a single-day high for Peel. That's an area that we know has been a particular hotspot throughout this pandemic, especially now. Now, the 7-day average is down to 4,132 cases a day. We had over 56,000 tests that were completed at a positivity rate of 8.8%. And we know that over 2,000 physicians in the GTA have signed this open letter calling on the province to make some specific changes to try to address this pandemic and get us through to the other side.
We do not need to hit this with a sledgehammer that has no scientific backing. We need to be specific and thoughtful. The letter that was written in unison, in one voice, by the physicians across this region was very specific in what needs to be done. It is a call to action to Ontario's public to demand better and to demand specific actions that will make a difference now.
That includes protecting workplaces where COVID is spreading, including supporting companies to do more COVID testing on site, taking vaccines into those locations that are at higher risk, creating paid sick leave, and doing strategic vaccinations, and creating clear public health information on things like vaccines. Now, today, the government of Ontario did say that it has its first case of somebody developing a blood clot who took the AstraZeneca vaccine. They say it's a man in his 60s who has received treatment and is recovering at home. Reporting live, I'm Moment Qureshi.
The Prime Minister has joined millions of Canadians in receiving his first COVID vaccine jab. He got the shot after word of a new deal for millions of COVID booster shots in the years ahead, and hopeful signs that some of the major restrictions facing the country could start to be lifted by summer. 680's Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney has more.
Cameras clicked away from a distance as Prime Minister Justin Trudeau took off his dress shirt, rolled up the sleeve of his undershirt, and received the AstraZeneca vaccine. Trudeau says he's excited to get the shot and hopes this encourages others to get vaccinated when they're eligible. Trudeau got his jab right after a news conference where he announced a new deal with our main vaccine supplier, Pfizer,
For 35 million booster doses for next year and 30 million in the year after.
Trudeau says he hopes boosters are not needed, but the government needs to be prepared if they are. Meanwhile, the latest COVID modeling actually shows signs of hope. While the country is still being hit hard with a third wave, with an average of 8,400 cases daily.
How many times are they going to say hope?
Teresa Tam says, with the current restrictions in place, we could see a leveling off or a reduction in numbers over the next month. And if Canadians keep following the rules and we see at least 75% of the population with their first dose of a vaccine and 20% fully vaccinated, then by late July or early August, some of the major restrictions could start to be gradually lifted. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
Well, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says suspending incoming passenger flights from India and Pakistan for the next month must be done to keep Canadians safe. The new travel measures were announced yesterday following pressure from provincial leaders who said not enough was being done to keep infectious variants out of the country. The B.1.617 variant that appears to be ravaging India has been detected in several provinces. The travel measures also also require people coming from India and Pakistan through indirect flights to get a negative COVID test in the last place they landed before arriving in Canada. This section of 680 News is brought to you by Butler Mortgage. Pregnant women in Ontario can now receive a COVID-19 vaccine regardless of their age. The change comes after new information showing women who are pregnant are at high risk of severe illness. They can now book through the provincial call center or through their local public health unit. Another interesting consequence from the pandemic in Canada, a surge in the need for warehouse space thanks to a boom in online shopping. 680 business editor Chris McCusker has more. A spokesman at CBRE Vancouver says they're seeing multiple offers on any space that's available, especially anything you can occupy this year. At the start of April, the commercial real estate company said Canada's industrial markets are the tightest in North America, and the country can't build space fast enough to satisfy demand. With stores being forced to close off and on over the last year, many businesses need additional space to store inventory and process online orders. To illustrate that, back in January, StatsCan said retail e-commerce sales were up 100% year over year. At the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker. Today marks the third anniversary of the Yonge Street van attack. Mayor John Tory marked the tragedy in a virtual news conference.
To come to the table with some support dollars for small businesses. The province has been incredibly tight.
Lost, and 16 more were needlessly altered forever.
It was around 1:30 in the afternoon on April 23rd, 2018, when Alec Manassian drove a rental van down the sidewalk of Yonge Street between Shepherd and Finch. By the time he stopped, he had killed 10 people and left 16 others hurt. Earlier this year, a judge found Manassian guilty of 10 counts of first-degree murder, as well as 16 counts of attempted murder. A sentencing hearing is set for the end of next month. Still to come on 680 News, we'll check to see where the price at the pumps is going. 680 News time, 2:09. This is 680 News.
Everyday Canadians are buying homes and getting the wrong mortgage rates. Important announcement. If you have a home mortgage closing in the next 90 days, 1.15% 5-year variable rate mortgages are available at butlermortgage.ca. No matter what you were told or what you signed, you can still switch to 1.15% 5-year. No gimmicks, no fees. Standard mortgages at 1.15% 5-year variable. To learn if you qualify, go to butlermortgage.ca now.
License number 12118, high ratio variable rate, APR 1.16%.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price will not change at midnight, staying at $1.27.9 a liter at most GTA stations. 680 News time, 2:10.
When you lease a 2021 Honda CR-V, you're saying yes to Ontario, because our assembly line is in Ontario. During a Honda Checkered Flag event, lease the 2021 CR-V LX from $82 weekly at 2.99% and $0 down, including $750 Honda bonus. And after you get your CR-V, show some more local love. Order in from your favorite restaurant. Includes freight and fees for 60 months, taxes extra OAC. Made with domestic and imported parts. By appointment only. See HondaOntario.com.
And this just into 680 News. The National Advisory Council on Immunization has updated its recommendation on the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine.
At this time, and based on current evidence, NACI recommends that the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine may be offered to individuals 30 years of age and older without contraindications if the individual does not wish to wait for an mRNA vaccine and the benefits outweigh the risk.
More than 1.1 million AstraZeneca doses have been administered across the country, and there have been just 4 reported cases of blood clots. SH Health is a private medical...
Even the Premier used the phrase the other day in that ill-fated news conference, we are more locked down than any other jurisdiction in North America. I believe them.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. I mean, this is the thing that I think some are suggesting that they need to do more lockdowns, tighter lockdowns. I've been criticized for calling for ending lockdowns or at least providing some easing of the restrictions to allow small firms to eke out a bit of a living. But I got to tell you, I'm not sure what's left to lock down in this province. We're locking down and throwing away the key for thousands of business owners. If you can believe it, Indoor restaurant dining in the city of Toronto has been locked down for over 310 days so far. Gyms, the same way. Hair salons, nail salons have been locked down for 230, I believe. It's just nuts.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I've been.
Oh, it's jammed on the eastbound QEW from Bronte to approaching Dorval. Then after that, just a slight delay as you head past the Ford plant. Northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, that's busy with volume from Don Mills to north of Lawrence. No problems though onto the northbound 404. And the westbound 401 is backed up into Mississauga from here, Ontario on the Express, Mavis and the Collectors to approaching Mississauga Road. We have delays eastbound on the 401 as you head past Mississauga Road. Slows again from the 427 to the 400 Express and Collectors. And finally, that stalled vehicle east of the DVP and the Express has been removed. No delays through that stretch of the eastbound 401. Eastbound 407, there's no access to that route from northbound Bayview. That ramp to the eastbound 407 remains closed. It's for scheduled construction. Southbound 404, a bit busy approaching Shepherd and the Collectors onto the 401 ramps, but I'm looking at a smooth drive on the southbound Don Valley Parkway. On city streets, we have a crash reported at Keele and Lawrence. Northbound Keele is really jammed up as you approach Lawrence. And we also have some construction again today at Derry and Bramalea. All east and westbound lanes are reduced to 2. So westbound Derry is jam-packed from Torbram to Bramalea, and a heavy backup eastbound Derry from just east of Dixie to Bramalea. Your next traffic report is at 2:21. Now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor. We'll say goodbye to the winter-like weather. It's back to the milder air. We'll climb to 17 for the guaranteed high. Plenty of sunshine, some clouds for the afternoon, and the winds will pick up again out of the west to about 30 kilometers per hour, higher gusts. Tonight, partly cloudy, still windy and 6. And for the weekend, light rain, especially for the evening. We should be okay most of the day Saturday, 15 tomorrow, and sun and cloud, windy on Sunday with a high 11. For today, the guaranteed high 17. Right now in downtown Toronto, it's sunny, 13 degrees. Over at Pearson Airport, a lot warmer. It's sunny and 17. 680 News Time, 2:14. Time now for the Dynamic Funds Market Minute live from the Business Center. Here's Chris McCusker. Chris, Irene, we've got arrows pointing up and still the NASDAQ, the big.
So these keys belong to some electric bike ride share thing. They're one of them is an Avis. Those are expensive, but they're good. Medico and Avis, some of the best. 6, 7, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Hello. My name's Richard. I emailed this email address about some lost keys, and I guess this is.
Hi, Richard. How are you?
I'm okay. I didn't check my email for a couple of days, but so I have them in my hand. I'm in the neighborhood of Lansdowne and DuPont, but I don't know how that helps.
Lansdowne and DuPont. Okay. Let me just think. That's where you live, or that's where you are right now?
I live at Lansdowne and DuPont.
Perfect. What I'm going to do is my colleague lives not too far. Let me think. Lansdowne and DuPont.
There's a coffee shop. There's a coffee shop right on the corner. There's a Food Basics on one corner. On the other corner, there's a coffee shop right there.
Right. Okay. So can I? And this is your phone number, Richard?
Yeah. Yes.
Great. So either myself or my colleague Carl will call you. And come by and get the keys later today if you're around.
Well, I'll probably be around. The only but call me, like, don't just call me like before you show up, just in case I'm not right next to the like I might be in the neighborhood, but not. This is a landline. That's what I'm getting at. It's a landline. So.
Oh, it's a landline. Okay. Well, one way or the other, we'll get the keys from you. That's awesome. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Okay. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Well, now I have to wait for them to call me. That's 2 contacts I made trying to get these keys back. I emailed them, and they sent me a number, and I called them. Yeah, that's an Avis with some serial numbers on it, and I don't know this one. This is LA. I don't know what that is. Is that to start? Oh. That's got to be 555-1212. Yeah, we'll just wait a second. that was them, they would have let it ring more than once, you know? What's the other thing I gotta do? I gotta call the city court off. Set that right there. 41632-75614.
Court support, bonjour.
Bonjour, hello. My name is Richard, and I'm trying to find out what my next court date is. If I give you the case number off the top of my bail paper, would you be able to look that up?
Take your last name first, so if you could spell me your last name, please.
Okay, it's Vanden Kerkhoff. I'll spell it. It's VAN space DEN space KERKHOF. But it might be written up with dashes on the computer.
Sure, and your first name, please?
Richard.
Richard, that's no S at the end, right?
I'm sorry? Kilo Hotel Oscar Foxtrot.
I've got your Richard. Date of birth, please.
February 11th, 1983.
Okay, so you are coming back on May 11th, 9 o'clock for courtroom 112.
112, May 11th, 9 o'clock. So, I know anything can change in the next little while. Are we expected to show up in court, or just let our lawyers deal with it?
Well, currently, the court is open, is back up, but virtually. So
Okay, I understand.
you don't need your lawyer. You can appear for yourself, but you do need to dial in either virtually by audio conferencing or video conferencing.
Is there a phone number to do that, or?
Yes, so for courtroom 112, I can give you, which method are you,
Any chance you could give me both, just in case one or the other doesn't work?
yes, you can do that. So 112 for 9 o'clock, you are to dial into courtroom 112.
Okay.
And the telephone number to call is 855
855
703
8985.
8985.
Okay.
Meeting ID number is 640
640
558
5558
9354.
9354.
And the passcode is 537
537
401.
401.
Yep.
So that's to dial.
So that's by audio conferencing. And if you would like to appear by video conferencing, you just need to go to Zoom and enter.
Hello, I'm here.
And enter the meeting ID and the passcode.
The same meeting ID and passcode?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day, miss.
You too. Bye-bye.
I know it's supposed to be adversarial. They're putting me in jail. They're picking on the. I know it's supposed to be adversarial, but what the fuck she got to do with any of that? She's just answering a phone, and I'm sure she gets cussed at once or twice a day, whether she needs it or not. So we didn't get any calls in from Carl. There's gonna be somebody show up on an electric bike. It's gonna look like a weird kind of drug deal. I got the keys. Are you the guy with the blue bandana or the red bandana? Okay, you roll up. You stay 2 meters away. I'll throw them on the ground and step back, and you grab them and take up. Everything looks like a drug deal these days. Okay, what was the other thing I had to do? Call the police. I reported. I told my lawyer. I mean, what am I supposed to fucking do? Like, he threatened me. Sergeant Preston is gonna drag him before the courts. Yeah, sure. The issue is that they're telling the police I'm doing things to them, so this like ties my hands.
bike lane now blocked off.
If you go through all these videos, you'll see every day when these things have happened what I have to say about it at the time.
Northbound now because of the visual
And,
distraction.
the top video on this channel, buddy throwing blood in my face.
The right lane is blocked. That's due to another collision, a vehicle in the ditch there, apparently, according to traffic spotters. But emergency crews are there as well. So northbound on the 400, it's jammed from 5th line to north of Highway 88. Looks like a smoother drive northbound on the 5th side road or 10th side road if you're going to be east of the 400. Northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, not spotting any problems, but it's a slow go from Don Mills to north of Lawrence. Westbound on the 401 is backed up from Huron, Ontario on the Express and from Mavis and the Collectors to approaching Mississauga Road. And we have volume delays on the eastbound 401 heading past Mississauga Road and again from the 427 to the 400 Express and Collectors. On city streets, we have a crash reported northbound on Keele at Lawrence, so a heavy backup there as you approach Lawrence. And in Mississauga, construction on Derry at Bramalea. Both east and westbound Derry is reduced to 2 lanes for this road work. So it's jammed westbound Derry from Torbram. Eastbound delays start just east of Dixie. Right now at Mercedes-Benz Newmarket, enjoy 3-month payment waivers on select 2020 and 2021 models. By appointment only. See dealer for details. And now with the extended forecast, here's Jill Taylor. Just a gorgeous day for us. Plenty of sunshine, some clouds for the afternoon. The wind will pick up out of the west. Gusts could exceed 50 kilometers per hour today. Our guaranteed high 17, 6 for the low, partly cloudy. We'll have increasing cloud tomorrow and then the light rain for Saturday night, the high about 15. Sunday, sun and cloud near 11. And sun and cloud for Monday, the high about 11 degrees, 16 on Tuesday. Some areas could even get to 20s as we move through the next week. For today, the guaranteed high 17.
And it is 17 degrees at Pearson with mainly sunny skies, 15 and sunny downtown. 680 News Time, 2:23.
Saturday, be part of hockey history. Molson Hockey Night in Canada Multilingual Edition. The NHL in 7 languages. Leafs Jets plus Sens Canucks. Live stream all the action in Cantonese, Mandarin, Hindi, Vietnamese, Tagalog, Arabic, and German. Molson Hockey Night in Canada Multilingual Edition. Saturday. Watch on Sportsnet.ca.
Course dedicated to women who wear cup sizes D and above. Broad Lingerie's aim is to make bras and swimwear accessible to fuller busted women by offering a smartly curated selection of basic and fashion styles sold at affordable prices in a welcoming atmosphere. The bill will be in the mail, Sam. just pulling your leg. I wanted people to know what it was you did, and that you obviously render a service that certain level of women require, and it sounds to me like it would be a store worth having open right now. But I guess what you're doing is some curbside delivery because some measurements you have.
Exactly, yeah. I've been doing a lot of curbside and online, and I've actually been doing virtual fittings, which is, hello, the future. Has been surprisingly successful, but a new...
I'm not going to ask how that's done, Sam.
It's a secret.
Good. Keep it that way. I'm just very interested in some other aspect of your business. I know what you do, and it's a valuable service. But the aspect of your business that really gets me is you get no problem with paid sick days at all. And you've been doing it for a very long time. And you don't know, I shouldn't say you don't know, but you are certainly taken aback by the fuss that's going on. Tell me how you arrived at the point of view that you are. Tell me why and when you implemented paid sick leave for employees, obviously when you have employees, and why the whole concept that has been discussed and where effectively you could say the Premier had to cave on Friday. Why is this such a big to-do? Why does it have to be such a big to-do?
So I implemented paid sick days when I opened my store. Before owning and operating my store, I worked in retail most of my life. So I know what it's like when you're really sick and you come into work because you have to pay your rent or buy groceries. And then everyone else gets sick. And it's just sort of miserable. So I wanted to make sure that my employees wouldn't have to make that hard choice. And I also wanted to make sure that I wouldn't be prolonging sickness throughout my workplace. with one person coming in sick and then that spreading to staff or even customers. And this was the case before the pandemic, and I think it's super important right now. So for me, it was sort of just a cost that I assumed that I was going to have to pay. It was not
you were talking about big titties a minute ago, and now you're not.
We learned the U.S. president was reportedly considering hiking the capital gains tax. Paul Gardner is partner and portfolio manager at Avenue Investment Management.
Well, we've come so far so fast from the lows of the pandemic, and now the market is struggling because it's taking a breather not only on valuation, but what you just mentioned was the proposed, capital gains increase in the U.S., and that caused a real kind of small scare specifically to the U.S. markets.
Now, shares in Intel taking a beating today. The stock at one point was looking at its biggest one-day drop in about 3 months. Right now, it's down 5.6%. The world's biggest chip maker reported a drop in data center revenue and a steep decline in gross profit margin. So some analysts say this could be a sign it's losing market share. First quarter sales did miss estimates. The company, though, raised its full-year sales guidance. Intel also says that global chip shortage, which has been very challenging for car makers, could last another 2 years. The price for gold right now is down by $5, $17.76. Oil is higher by 64 cents, 62.07. And the Canadian dollar up by 12 100s, 80.10 cents US. We've also got Bitcoin taking a hit again today. It's actually lower for the 7th time in the last 8 days. I'm just going to get an updated price. Earlier today, it slipped below 50,000. Back about that mark right now, but still down by 2.2% to 50,432. I'm Chris McCusker. This is 680 News.
This segment is brought to you by Molson in partnership with Sportsnet. Join them as they present Molson Hockey Night in Canada Multilingual Edition, streaming in 7 additional languages tomorrow night. This is Simon Bennett.
Paid sick days. But again and again, the reason for not having a fair program that's sort of easy to understand and across the board is this is going to hurt small businesses, and I don't think that is the case.
Well, what's so interesting, and I know you're aware of this because it's so much in the news and you're following it, there are now larger businesses that are saying, you know what, we're doing this. They've understood it, and they're doing it, and they're big names that you would know.
That's great, yeah.
Well, I think it is, and I think it's great that you've taken the time to come and talk to me, and through me to our listeners, and say, you know what, there are those of us out here who are staying in business. We're going to be here when this is all said and done, and part of the reason we're going to get our employees back is because we treated them fairly, and I thank you for doing that, and I thank you for appearing today.
You're welcome. Can I say one last thing?
Of course you can.
Again, as a small business, so we've been trapped in this cycle of lockdowns. And part of the reason that this is happening is because we aren't able to control case numbers. And so much of the spread is through workplaces. And by implementing paid sick days, my hope would be that we would be able to get out of this cycle, which is hurting small businesses. So right now, larger businesses aren't being affected by these or as much by these lockdowns, whereas small businesses like mine are forced to close most of the time. And that's, again, because of these rising case numbers. So I think this would, if anything, help small businesses.
Do the paid sick leave. Let people out in the open air to enjoy the open air and the sports and activities that are available at this time of year. Get the vaccines as fast as you can. Shoot people up with them as fast as you can. And by the time we get to midsummer, we'll have a summer. That's the thing.
That is the dream.
All right. Thanks so much, Sam.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right. You too. Sam Conover, owner of Broad Lingerie on Danforth Avenue. We're going to take a break, and we're going to continue the discussion of paid sick days. And I know that there's a position that the next guest is going to have, but we'll let him explain it for himself. That's Fred Hahn, the president of QP, standing by in the waiting room. I'm Peter Sherman. This is Global News Radio 640 Toronto.
You've been denied your long-term disability or cut off by the insurance company. Before you call a lawyer, discover your rights.
Closed because of a collision. Traffic is inching along on the eastbound QEW. It's jammed approaching Bronte to approaching Dorval. Northbound on the 400, north of Highway 88, the right lane is closed because of a collision. Still have a vehicle rollover in the ditch, according to traffic spotters, and it's backed up northbound on the 400 from 5th line to north of Highway 88. Northbound on the Don Valley Parkway, that's busy from Don Mills to north of Lawrence. We have traffic on the westbound 401, heavy from Huron, Ontario on the Express, and from Mavis and the Collectors to approaching Mississauga Road. A slow go eastbound 401 from east of Winston Churchill to east of Mississauga Road. Delays again from the 427 to the 400 Express and Collectors. On city streets, we have a couple of collisions, one at Mount Pleasant and Moore. It looks like northbound Mount Pleasant is now jammed from St. Clair to Moore. Another collision reported northbound on Keel at Lawrence. It's slow as you approach Lawrence. And construction in Mississauga at Derry and Bramalea. All east and westbound traffic is reduced to 2 lanes, so very heavy in both directions on Derry as you approach Bramalea. Take a look into the alarming rise of gun crime in Toronto and the devastating impact it has on the community. Watch Veracity, the gun chase, on Tuesday at 10, only on City TV. Now with the forecast, here's Jill Taylor. Over for Jill now this afternoon, which is really turning out to be quite lovely after a couple of days with some on and off winter style conditions. Spring is back here in the GTA. We do have a gusty wind out of the west-southwest, but our temps are really nice. We're sitting at 17 downtown and at Pearson. That's the guaranteed high today under mainly sunny skies, a few clouds overnight, and your overnight low near 8 degrees.
This is 680 News.
Breaking news from Canada's expert panel on immunization, which is released.
The green room. Some of the funniest people instead. J'en ai aucun problème avec ça.
Yung pango, nigga siya kuwabali, lakini afadhali, manonimezi mtuka na anza isafari, pata habari, kili mo sasa ndo ujenge chaka watu na kutuga maisha, wananitegea. Siya bidi, kima na lifa, ongeza bidi kwenye kili masiku. Wewe tuweke tu, maribi sunga mbupi.
Lanza su mente la terra, poi sciada la mano, lo bella la stanza, ogni colore, coraggio, si sono futuro, ogni colore, la libertà. Buonara penso, coconut chocolate. We can dance, we can sing, we can dance, we can breathe, we can leave the world in. We're the most blessed of the most classes. So success, more than enough. Dignity, ability, nobility. Africa, you really made. I wanna be so, I wanna be so.
Is a male patient, 60 years old. This is all that is being revealed about this person with blood clot due to their as a way to respect their medical privacy. Male patient in Ontario, 60 years old, has developed an AstraZeneca-related blood clot, but again, these clots are incredibly rare. NACI officials also emphasizing that canceling their Tuesday news conference had nothing to do with the discovery of any new risk factors about AstraZeneca. It was only because new data had come in from the provinces and they wanted to take due process and take the time to analyze everything properly. Bottom line, NACI recommending AstraZeneca is now okay for anyone as young as 30. We'll keep you up to date with this developing story through the day. Reporting live, I'm Mark Douglas.
Here with All News Radio, 680 News, Ontario is reporting a slight drop in its 7-day rolling average for new cases of COVID-19, but hundreds of doctors are calling on the Ford government again to more efficiently control the spread of this virus, as well as the rollout of vaccines to hotspots. 680's Moen Qureshi joins us live with those details. Moen.
So, Jan, as we look at the numbers, 4,505 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the province today with 34 new deaths related to the virus. We see a spike in cases, particularly in Peel, 1,232 cases. That is the highest one-day total for Peel throughout this pandemic. And we know that is one region in particular that has been a very hot spot for the virus and needs some particular focus and attention. And that is something that doctors are talking about today. 2,000 doctors signing this open letter to the province calling for some very specific action.
We do not need to hit this with a sledgehammer that has no scientific backing. We need to be specific and thoughtful. The letter that was written in unison, in one voice, by the physicians across this region was very specific in what needs to be done. It is a call to action to Ontario's public to demand better and to demand specific actions that will make a difference now.
So these doctors are calling for things like protecting workplaces where COVID is spreading, supporting companies to do more COVID testing on site, taking vaccines into those locations that are at highest risk, creating paid sick days, doing strategic vaccinations, and providing clear public health information for things like vaccines and their effects and the risks that come with it, so people have a clear, educated mind and know that it's safe to go get those vaccines. Reporting live, I'm Owen Qureshi.
So there's been a lot of finger pointing when it comes to where to lay the blame for the current situation in the third wave. One critical care doctor in York Region believes all of us are contributing to the ongoing spread of COVID and its variants. 680's Phil Martino joins us live with that story. Phil.
James, Dr. Aviv Gladman is an ICU doctor at Mackenzie Health in York Region. He works in the only dedicated COVID healthcare facility in the province, Cortsalucci Vaughan Hospital. They run a virtual COVID outreach clinic, and they've been collecting data on sources of COVID infection. He says he's got news for you. The government isn't the major cause of rising COVID numbers. You are.
My concern is that, we can go ahead and blame whoever we want, but at the end of the day, the one group that I see no one blaming is really ourselves.
According to Dr. Gladman, essential workplace exposures may be the biggest point exposures, but the most common cause of case transmission is unknown. And guess what? Unknown means you.
Yes, there are people that are not able to, within the context of their work, separate from other people, not able to physically distance. But there are lots of people that can. And from the experience I've seen walking around, driving around the city, I think a lot of people are not.
The ICU doctor says, keep in mind this shutdown is your fault. This is mom and dad putting you in a government-mandated timeout because you couldn't play nice with others. Now, he stresses stay home, stay safe, stay home, and, quote, follow the damn rules. Phil Martino, 680 News. The Prime Minister is now at least partially protected against COVID-19 after receiving his first vaccine dose. It comes after the federal government secured COVID-19 booster shots and
from the pandemic. They've made more money than they would normally. And these are places that, quite frankly, should be ashamed of themselves that they never offered paid sick leave for their employees in the first place.
But Loblaws is one of the companies that has said we're going to pay it.
Well, that's good to hear. They should just institute it now. They don't need to wait for a while. What are they waiting for? I'll tell you what they're waiting for. They're waiting to be told they have to do it. And that's part of our problem. But you'll...
For service in English, press 1. Pour le service français, c'est le 2. For the city of Toronto, press 1. For York Durham, press 2. For Dufferin, press 3. For Halton Peel, press 4. For Niagara, press 5. For the city of Toronto, press 1. For York Durham, press 2. For Dufferin Innisfil, press 3. For Halton Peel, press 4. For Niagara, press 5.
187. Whoa.
Donate online at carsforkids.ca. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll benefit a child and get a maximum tax credit.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today, and your car can be gone tomorrow.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. Impro predicting the price will not change at midnight. We should stay at just under $1.28 a liter. Traffic and weather together next.
Introducing to DeWalt's 20-volt max system, the new professional range of outdoor power tools. Power through tall, thick grass with the 2x20-volt max
period of time is, figure out where long-term disability kicks in at some point later. But what you're saying is don't wait. We can't wait to hear till next January what you think you want to do.
That's right. And we can't also keep mistaking the federal program as though it were paid sick leave. Because you have to have been sick first. You have to then apply. You have to meet certain criteria, jump over certain hurdles, be approved, and then wait 6 or 8 weeks before they issue you a capped amount of money. And so if I got to pay the rent at the end of every month, that doesn't work for me. It's not paid sick leave. What we need is pay continuance that is legislated in the law, provided by employers, should be employer paid. If there are small employers that have challenges, they should absolutely have assistance from the government. And, our provincial government has been providing assistance to business. Look, they're providing assistance to big corporations. At this point, we are now paying part of the hydro bills for big corporations like Loblaws and Amazon. There's a subsidy that we're providing them. So look, if business needs help, it should get it. But if it's making money, it should actually just provide these to their employees. And as you say, there's a growing course of medium and small-sized business people who understand that they've already been doing this. It's good practice for their workers. And frankly, what's more important is it's good for all of us.
Well, it's good for everybody, but let me put something to you. And this is just a balloon that I'm pushing up into the air, and you're free to shoot at it or embrace it. What about unions getting into the act on this, where unions are involved, because you represent an awful lot of people in the province of Ontario. Forget about the rest of Canada, but the province of Ontario. And it's conceivable, since you get your employee contributions and you deal, therefore, with the organizations that employ them, that monies could be channeled into the union, and the union could manage this if it wanted to. What do you think of that?
Well, we're not.
Doorbell. Extra busy because of that eastbound problem. On city streets, there's a crash at Mount Pleasant and more. It looks like one southbound lane is blocked here, but really heavy in both directions on Mount Pleasant as you approach more. We also have some construction in Mississauga. Derry is reduced to 2 lanes both ways at Bramalea. It's very heavy in both directions, especially westbound on Derry, jammed as you approach Torbram to Bramalea, and it looks like a lot of people are opting for westbound Drew. So northbound Torbram is backed up from Derry to Drew. Take a look. It's the final days to save the tax on all furniture, mattresses, and select appliances packages at Leon's. And Sunday, shop online at leons.ca today. Now with the forecast, here's Denise Andriachi. A gorgeous sunny day across the GTA. Spring has come back to us. The winds are a little breezy, but we're sitting at 17 at Pearson and downtown. That's the guaranteed high today, and just a hint above seasonal. Just a few clouds tonight. We're really mainly clear overnight near 8 degrees, and tomorrow looks like another nice day, mainly sunny near 16 with a very slight chance of some showers. Your guaranteed high today, 17. Now the Dynamic Funds Market Minute to the Business Center. Here's Richard Southern.
At Swagana, stocks higher. Today, the TSX is up 69.
We'll open the phone lines for you, talk about a couple of other things. First, we'll bring on Lori Turcotte and find out what's going on with Lori.
Oh, we've got a couple of problems now. If you're heading out on the 400 northbound past Highway 88, we've got a truck rollover getting cleaned up. Unfortunately, you have a really heavy delay on the approach. So I would suggest you either pack your patience, budget a little bit of extra time to get through this area, or consider grabbing an alternate. Jane Street, definitely one to look at. Some good news. Problems on the 401 eastbound in the Express, just past the 404. That stalled vehicle has been removed. We've got some trouble in Oakville. Eastbound on the Queenie, just before Doorbell. A crash in the left lane is backed up all the way from Bronte. And city streets, we've got a collision getting cleaned up on Keele, just north of Lawrence. Canadian Tire's Big Spring Tire Sale is on now. Save up to 25% off trusted brands like Motomaster, Michelin, and Goodyear. Ends April 29. Conditions apply. Details online. I'm Lori Turcotte with Global News Radio 640 Toronto. Chopper traffic.
If I had a Corolla, I'd crank up the Apple CarPlay and do a girl.
Love with the new Genesis GV80. The only seat that can compare to my courtside seat is behind the wheel of my new luxury SUV by Genesis. But there is very limited availability. Test drive the official.
That's not French.
Visit shoptoyota.ca.
Hi, it's Fido. What
This is 680 News.
Sunshine in downtown Toronto and 14 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm Sljana Tominzik.
And I'm James Monroe. Here's what's making news right now.
Canada's expert panel on immunization has issued new recommendations saying those as young as 30 can take the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine now. This comes as Canada records its 4th case of rare blood clotting linked to the shot, this time in a 60-year-old man here in Ontario. The province is reporting a slight drop in the 7-day rolling average for new cases of COVID-19, but hundreds of doctors are calling on the Ford government again to more efficiently control the spread, as well as the rollout of vaccines in hotspots. Coming up after sports, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control awaiting guidance from an advisory panel of its own, looking into the safety of the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine.
Time now for 680 Sports.
Starting sports at 590 The Fan, here's Alex Xero.
Most legit.
16%.
Who are you?
Max, professional dream coach.
Where am I?
Inside your dream helicopter. And since Friday's Lotto Max jackpot is an estimated $10 million, you're in command.
Well, then we must be heading to my seaside home.
Then what?
Then getting on.
Yeah, because $1 million will get you all that. I don't think so.
Oh.
Let's see.
He sprained MCL Wednesday against the Brooklyn Nets. The Athletic Shams Charania says Boucher's return.
It's 14 minutes before 3 o'clock. There are a couple of things I want to take care of. We'll call them business. If you want to call, because this is an open segment for me, and you've heard a lot on this show, beginning with my we'll call it opening commentary because it wasn't really a rant today, talking about Trudeau and the vaccines and all the rest of it. Interesting thing that during the course of the show, after I really rapped him for BSing us basically on there's enough vaccines and he wouldn't change the thing. Of course he changed something. In fact, to that end, about 20 minutes ago, we get news and a little clip of him, and I may just get to play that in a while, where he says, I just made a deal with Pfizer, and I bought 35 million doses of the booster shot for next year. Oh, now you're doing that. You figured it out. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I want you to know about something that's coming up that really has to do with a special on Global TV. Across the country, a rise in anti-Asian hate. Global News is taking an in-depth look at this in a national network special called Hidden Hate, Anti-Asian Racism.
Coughed on, spat at, and brutally attacked. The number of hate crimes targeting Asians since the pandemic began runs into the thousands. And while anti-Asian sentiment isn't new,
Since the pandemic began, you hear all these white people are giving themselves an excuse. This started with the pandemic. No, it didn't. You've been doing this a long time.
in on this, including the first Asian American NBA champion, Jeremy Lin.
I kind of evolved from a place of like feeling really unsure and surprised and sad and angry to a place of really believing and hoping and knowing that, you know, the work that everybody is doing is making a difference and it will continue to make a difference in the next generation.
Miranda Anthesel, Global News.
So there's Miranda Anthesel, and she's hosting this thing, Hidden Hate, Anti-Asian Racism. It examines the history of sentiment in Canada and how pop culture has normalized harmful stereotypes. Special airs on Global this Saturday, which is tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. local time across Canada. So that's something you probably want to catch. A couple of things I want to mention. I see the lines starting to go, 870-6400. You've heard all of the program, and I'll give you a bit of a redo on the opening so that you can react to that. But give me a moment for that. I wanted to mention that NACI, which is the national organization that recommends vaccine usage, they're now saying AstraZeneca vaccine can be offered to people 30 plus. Now, don't run out if you're 30 plus looking for the vaccine. We haven't heard of distribution yet, but NACI's saying go ahead.
Suspended flights from India and Pakistan. I'm Monica Gould. Traffic and weather together next.
Would you like to own?
Hi, you have reached the emergency phone number for the oral surgery practice. Office hours for booking appointments are Monday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please note appointments and prescription refills cannot be made until the next business day. If this is a dental emergency, and only if this is a dental emergency requiring our immediate attention, please call Dr. Gay or Dr. Chu, 416-356-2633. Thank you for calling. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's helpful. Oh, what phone call does that leave? The police to tell them I'm being threatened again. Yeah, that'll help because they'll come down and shoot me. Oh.
The northbound 400 north of Highway 88. Last we heard from traffic spotters, still had the right lane closed because of this collision. So a heavy backup northbound 400 from 5th line to north of Highway 88. A slow go on the northbound Don Valley Parkway from north of Baby Bloor to north of Lawrence. We have volume delays on the westbound 401 from here, Ontario and the Express, Mavis and the Collectors to approaching Mississauga Road. And it's busy eastbound 401 from east of Winston Churchill to east of Mississauga Road. Delays again from the 427 to the 400 Express and Collectors. And watch out for a collision eastbound 401 approaching Kiel in the Express. It's on the left shoulder, but not much of a delay there. Starting to get busy eastbound 401 as you head past Salem. Eastbound 407, there is still no access to that route from northbound Bayview. That ramp to the eastbound 407 remains closed. It's for construction. On city streets, we have a crash at Mount Pleasant and Moore. It's down to a single lane, both north and southbound. Really heavy northbound on Mount Pleasant from St. Clair to Moore. And some construction in Mississauga at Derry and Bramalea. We have lanes reduced. Westbound Derry is absolutely jammed from approaching Torbram to Bramalea. For a limited time, lease a 2021 NX300 F Sport Series 1 at 1.9% with bi-weekly payments from $228 and F Sport credits of $3,000. See LexusofOakville.ca. And now with the extended forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Well, we've seen temperatures cool just a little bit downtown, but for the most part, we're sitting between about 14 and 17 degrees across the GTA, and 17 is our guaranteed high at Pearson, and that's where we're currently at. The warmest air in the country is pretty much here in the province. I guess we can't call it too warm, but it feels really nice after a couple of days of on and off snow and flurry activity. Tomorrow, another very nice day, sunny and seasonal, and then for Sunday, we do cool down just a little bit, a hint below seasonal. Sun and cloud, chance of showers, and we could dip down very close to the freezing mark for Sunday night. Mainly sunny and 17 at Pearson. The overnight low tonight, 8 degrees.
Who are you? Max, professional dream coach. Where am I? Inside your dream helicopter. And since Friday's Lotomax jackpot is an estimated $10 million, you're in command. Well, then we must be heading to my seaside home. Then what? Then getting onto my powerboat to go snorkeling in my private cove. That was one wild ride. Friday's Lotomax jackpot is an estimated $10 million. Why dream to the main when you can dream to the max?
The big story. I'm your host, Jordan Heath Rawlings. We'll add context to whatever is trending today. Listen at thebigstorypodcast.ca or wherever you get your podcasts.
Here with All News Radio 680 News, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control is awaiting guidance from an advisory panel looking into the safety of Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine. Rita Foley of the Associated Press reports that health experts are investigating a possible link between the shot and a handful of recipients who developed blood clots.
CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says she's hoping for a recommendation from the experts that takes into account the risk versus reward of using the J&J single-dose vaccine. The CDC will want its advisors to help figure out how big any risk really is and whether there should be warnings of a very rare risk with the J&J shot.
The U.S. paused Johnson & Johnson vaccinations over a week ago out of an abundance of caution. Canada receives its first shipment of the J&J dose next week. Business is next.
When you call a Dell Technologies advisor, you get to talk to a real person who can provide tailored solutions that don't fit every small business, they fit yours. That's what it means to really listen. For solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor at 310-DELL.
The car today a much better way. Visit OntarioCars.ca.
Listen to me, my friend, and I'll offer a little advice. Why scour the city looking for a used or new car when you can easily visit OntarioCars.ca and find a large selection to choose from? Couldn't be simpler. No clutter, just cars. There's all-in pricing from our trusted sellers, too, and all purchases are protected by a compensation fund. Find your gem at OntarioCars.ca. OntarioCars.ca.
McDonald's Egg McMuffin is made with a freshly cracked egg. But wait, there's also a bacon and egg McMuffin and a sausage and egg McMuffin. Right now, they're just $3 each. Good luck deciding. Plus tax for limited time at participating restaurants. Excludes delivery.
680 News Time, 2:56.
Now the 680 News Business Report. Here's Richard Southern.
So, Janet, things are going to start looking a lot more clearer on Twitter.
The service says it's going to start allowing you to tweet out 4K super high resolution pictures. Daniel Bader is with Android Central.
You know, Twitter has been behind the curve in allowing, sort of making its platform high fidelity friendly. It was late to allow users to upload videos, and it really still relies largely on text to continue a conversation. But as we've seen with Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, it needs to do a better job making it a media first platform. And this is one more step in that direction. But I think it's fine. I don't think it's going to make a big difference. Phones and tablets today have higher resolution displays, and this is just meeting those users where they are already.
Shares in Twitter right now are up 3.4% at $66.51 US. We got a bounce back Friday on the go after that sell-off yesterday. Thursday was a down day on the markets on reports that the U.S., the president, Mr. Biden, is perhaps getting set to hike the capital gains tax. But investors are moving back into stocks here. The Dow is up 272 points, back above 34,000. The S&P is up 1.25%, and the Nasdaq strong, up 227 points. The TSX higher by 70 points at 19,101. Taking a look at some of the big movers, MindMed is up almost 60%, $4.27. This is a company that deals in psychedelic drugs, not for recreational use, that's not legal, but for medical use. And that's a stock that, again, is sharply higher today on news that is being added to the NASDAQ composite in the United States. Other movers and shakers, we got Intel moving lower, down more than 5% after it issued last night, second quarter earnings that guided below expectations. Snapchat up about 9% after that company saw accelerating revenue growth and very strong user growth numbers. Canadian dollar higher, it's at 80.13 cents US. And the top stories at 3 o'clock, just seconds away, right here on 680 News.
Attention passengers, this is your captain speaking. Looks like we have a full crowd today.
Really, Dad?
We're expecting a pretty smooth trip. Our crew will be handing out snacks shortly. Stand by.
Tag, stop.
The 2021 Ford Explorer, with available seating for up to 7 and standard intelligent 4-wheel drive. It's travel redefined. Right now, get 0.99% purchase financing for up to 72 months on most new 2021 Explorer models. For details, contact your Toronto area Ford dealer or visit Ford.ca.
Hi, it's Fido. When it comes to streaming your favorite movies, don't let your data plan hold you back. Get a data boost from Fido with 5 hours of unlimited data at no extra cost. That's 5 extra hours of data every month when you need it. It's enough to stream a movie and a sequel. All you have to worry about is deciding what to watch on all voice and data plans, only with Fido. Visit a Fido store or Fido.ca for details.
Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for Hickory Dickory Decks. Celebrating over 30 years of custom decks and happy customers, Hickory Dickory Decks offers the widest selection of low-maintenance decking. Enjoy life outdoors. Visit decks.ca.
In Pickering, mainly clear, 13 degrees. Oakville, sunny and 17. Brampton, sunny and 17. Downtown Toronto, clear, sunny, 14 degrees. 680 News AC at TRAM Toronto, it's 3 o'clock.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News. Sunny skies, 17 degrees in downtown Toronto. It's Friday, April 23rd. Good afternoon. I'm James Monroe.
I'm Sljana Timinzik. Here's what's making news right now.
Canada's National Advisory Committee on Immunization now says yes to the AstraZeneca vaccine for people as young as 30.
Balancing risks and benefits is absolutely essential.
The province reports over 4,500 new cases of COVID-19 today, as more than 2,000 doctors signed an open letter calling on the Ford government to do more to protect people against the virus. The Prime Minister has now received his first dose of a COVID vaccine as the Fed secure millions of booster shots for the next 2 years, and officials say restrictions could start being lifted by midsummer.
The Blue Jays are back in Florida to fire up a weekend series with the Tampa Bay Rays, while the Leafs and Raptors return to action tomorrow. Sports at 15.
Stocks moving higher to round out the week. The Dow's up more than 200. Business at 26.
City News Time 301.
Traffic and weather together. Here's Kerry.
This report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Ongoing problems eastbound on the QEW approaching Dorval. Still have the two left lanes blocked. Looks like the collision here. So heavy backup eastbound on the QEW jammed from just east of Appleby to approaching Dorval. Northbound on the 400, some relief for drivers here. That problem north of Highway 88 has completely cleared away, and it looks like delays eased off very quickly. So a pretty decent drop now on the northbound 400. Northbound on the